how to grow your real estate business on Instagram. By the end of this video, you're going to discover what you can do to get more business using Instagram, even if you have absolutely no idea what you're doing right now. First, we'll discuss the first thing you need to do before setting up a profile, or why you might need to delete your already existing one. Then we'll get started with exactly what you need to know to be strategic on Instagram. Lastly, I'm going to share specific tactics that you can use to grow your following and eventually your business. You ready to get started? Let's go. Step 1. You've heard that Instagram is a great place for you to promote your real estate business. You have listing images. That platform runs on images. You're obviously a match made in heaven, right? Not necessarily. Step 1 is to figure out if your target market is using Instagram, because they may or may not. So for instance, let's say that you sell beautiful retirement homes. That target market may not be utilizing Instagram as much as other social networks or other means of marketing. That might not be your best investment. So stop and look at where all your existing clients already are. Are they on Instagram? If you don't know, just ask them. Just take an informal poll, email a few of them, ask them the question. Or if you're brand new to real estate and you're trying to figure out where to start, I want you to create a customer profile where you map out their demographics. Those are things like how old they are, where they live, education level, their geographics, what area that they live in, and then lastly, their psychographics, what kind of things they care about. So to give an example of psychographics, the psychographics of a Walmart customer and a Target customer, or Target, if you will, are completely different. Walmart folks want savings, they want quick, they want easy, they want everything in one place. Target customers want a little bit more of an experience. Another great example is people who drink McDonald's coffee versus people who drink Starbucks coffee. They're both known for good coffee, but one is much more fancy than the other. The other's no frills. Interestingly enough, have you noticed that Walmart carries McDonald's coffee and that Target carries Starbucks? Just throwing that out there. So when you think about the psychographics of your real estate customer, I know it's very easy to say, I sell houses to everybody. But you're not going to get any clients that way, because usually you attract a certain profile. So think about who you want to attract. And after you write that out, think, is this person on Instagram? If that's not their primary means of social networking, then go where they are. At the end of the day, this isn't about creating pretty profiles. We want to make sure that you're getting business. Number 2, switch to Instagram for business. Now, there's a personal profile that if you've already been on Instagram, you're probably familiar with, but you do want to switch your account. It's very simple to do. If you don't know how to do it, Google how to switch to Instagram for business, and you're going to find Instagram's instructions on how to do that. But you want to have a business account because it has features that you do not have on your personal account. They're tailored for organizations and brands who are seeking to leverage the platform for advertising, marketing, and looking at analytics. So if analytics is important to you, hint, hint, it is, whether you know it or not, it is, then this is the type of profile you want to have. So now that you have a profile or you have the new business profile, the first thing you want to do is optimize your bio. Your bio is your first opportunity to make a good impression on your followers. Now, when we talk about optimizing and making a good impression, oftentimes what I see is people who tend to have the least amount of experience or credibility. And it's not a bad thing because we all start there. But the people who have the least try the hardest to prove themselves, right? And so that's when they try to tell you every award that they've gotten since kindergarten. They're trying to prove to you, you should hire me. I'm the best realtor. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And so they try to put too much in one place. So don't make the mistake of overselling yourself. We definitely want people to know that you're qualified. We want those certifications on there. We want some of those awards on there, the recent ones that are relevant. I want you to try your best to avoid overstacking your bio to oversell yourself. It's kind of like dating where someone's trying too hard and they might be nice, but then you find that you're not attracted to them because they're trying too hard. Like I'm awesome, and you're like, if you have to keep saying this, you have bodies in your closet? What's wrong with you? So don't oversell yourself. It'll make people actually doubt you. As you're building your bio, make sure to include your name, your title, your location, and a very brief description of what you do. Not overselling yourself, but putting the credentials there so that people do know that you know what you're doing. You can also include a link to your website or your landing page. If I can make a suggestion, you may need to hire someone to help you with branding. It does not have to be expensive. You can find people on Upwork to do this for a small amount of money. But let me give you a tip. I want you to lean in for this. I need you to hear me and know that I'm going to say the next thing from my heart. When I say you need to get help, I don't mean you need to find the nearest teenager, okay? Just because they're young does not mean that they're going to set up the best, most professional profile for you on Instagram. You want someone who has knowledge and experience with that platform to brand you accordingly. So if you don't have somebody in your life that already does that, like I said, you can use a service like Upwork, maybe even Fiverr if you have a slightly smaller budget, to help you with elements of your profile. So we're only halfway through the video and I have tons more juicy information for you. But first, I have to ask you, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please take a moment, subscribe right now. Otherwise, you'll be missing other cool videos like this. You don't want that kind of FOMO in your life. Go ahead, subscribe now. Be in the loop. So the next question is, what should you be posting? So people are always asking, do I use posts, stories, or reels? Oh my, all these choices, right? It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. A story is typically private content that's meant to keep your loyal base in the loop. So that's how a story works. It's for your insiders, if you will. Reels are public videos that tend to attract non-followers. So keep that in mind as you're creating your posting strategy. And posts are the standard images or things that you create in your feed that stay there forever. So reels tend to be much more entertaining because you're trying to attract people to you. That's a little bit more marketing, trying to get those folks to draw them in. And again, stories, that's more the inside look. So understand that you might be servicing different target audiences within Instagram. So post your stories as if you're talking to people you already know. You may not be putting very many listings there because some of the people, or a good portion of them, might already be your clients that just bought a home with you or sold a home with you. So I don't know how likely they are to be on the market right now immediately again. However, they can potentially be your best referral partners. So giving them the inside scoop on how you stage and how those techniques might help them in decorating their home, or showing them how to cut off different water valves if a freeze is coming. Things like that are what should be posted more to the stories. The reels, yes, you might have some of your listings there. You have the exciting things there. So again, think about your audiences as you think about how you're going to post. When you're posting though, make sure that you're creating a variety of content. So I mentioned for stories, you can post things like behind the scenes, tips for existing clients on home maintenance, even tips on saving for a home, and really good tips for current buyers and sellers. Markets are always changing, and so just letting them know on what's happening on the back end might actually help pique their interest and make them think of referring you to someone else that mentions that they need a realtor. My last few tips for you: think about going live on Instagram so that people can interact with you in the moment. You can answer questions, you could take them on a tour or something. But if you're going to go live, make sure that it adds value and it's enticing to the people who would join. It's not just about what we want to say or put out there, but it's something that you know people would actually be interested in. I'm pretty sure you've known someone, maybe you've gone on a date with them, maybe you've met them at a networking event where they have very little situational or emotional awareness. So they're telling you about things that have absolutely no interest to you. Maybe they're just talking about themselves for minutes on end. They give way too many details in their story. You get nothing from it. They don't even see you're not interested. They just keep going. We don't want to be that person on Instagram. We want to make sure that we're actually engaging people because we're offering them something that they're really interested in. So for instance, if you're a mountain climber or a deep sea diver, talking about some of your adventures to someone else who loves adventure might be a good path. Instagram works the same way. So think about going live. Use geotags so that people can see where you're located or where a story is happening. That might actually draw some more people to you as well. And then lastly, make sure that you're tagging others when you're mentioning them. So if it's an organization, if it's other people in the picture, make sure that you tag people. Make sure that you talk other people and other organizations up. Elevate them, especially those people who are potential referral partners. So for instance, if you're a realtor, who might be referral partners? Some of the people that you might not be thinking about are people like financial advisors. So the truth of the matter is, the only reason my husband and I bought our first house is because our financial advisor said one day, when are you going to stop playing? You're wasting all this money. You make more than enough. Go get a house. Boom. That's why we went and got a house, right? So think about all these different people who can influence your target market and make sure that you're catering to them and tagging them in photos that mention them. So very important. If you're going to tag them in reels and stories and posts that mention them, make sure it actually mentions them. There are very few things that are more annoying than when you're tagged in something that doesn't mention you, because then it feels like the person's just trying to cheaply use your tag to get your attention. That's not something people enjoy doing. People frown upon that. So Instagram may or may not, after going through all this information, if your target market is there, it would be a great tool for you to grow your real estate business. If your target market isn't there, then I want you to go someplace else, because we want to make sure that we're being strategic. Speaking of being strategic, you're going to notice there's a link in the description of this video to download the Future Ready Playbook. This is a playbook that I designed just for you that's going to walk you through activities, just walk you through it very simply, that will help you future-proof yourself, your career, and your organization. Make sure to take a moment and download it right now.